Hi, and welcome back to Inspired Alchemy with Lizzie. This is episode 34, and I'm going to talk about music and how important music has been on my journey and how I'm seeing it as a theme throughout so many lives. Over the past couple of weeks, conversations have been very music heavy. And I don't mean heavy in a bad way, I just mean a lot of conversations have been involving music. And while I do surround myself with people who their souls, just like mine, are music, it's been a lot more. And a lot more people having awarenesses, listening to songs that they've listened to before, or even new music coming out. So let me explain a little bit. I know I've talked before about music and how important it is to me, but my love of music started when I was really little. When I listened to songs, I can recall memories because I associate songs with memories. Not always, but a lot of the time I can. And my first concert that I ever went to was Billy Joel. My mom is a super fan. And my whole life was Billy Joel growing up. Billy Joel or classic rock, things like that, Queen. But Billy was the main staple in my house. Billy was how my mom regulated her nervous system. And my whole childhood, I was okay listening to it. As I got older and things became more strained, I started to dislike his music. And then when I stopped talking to my mom, it was very, very hard for me to actually listen to any of his music. As soon as it would come on, I would have to turn it off. I couldn't handle the frequency of the music. I couldn't handle the frequency that he was putting out because I associated it with something that hurt me. And we do this a lot in life, and we do this a lot with not just music, but foods. We do this with sounds. We do this with all kinds of different things. And so for a long time, I was unable to listen to his music. I would either break down crying, or I would get angry, or I would just feel some sort of way that felt very uncomfortable, and I didn't want to feel that. So I would just turn it off. And I did a lot of work around that. And recently, and I would say in the past year or so, I've been able to listen to his music again without it hurting. I was even able to listen to his music in one of my sessions, and it brought me peace. And so when his documentary came out, if you guys haven't seen it and you guys like Billy Joel or you just like music in general, it's a great documentary. It's a 2-part series where it goes through his life and it goes through telling you what inspired everything that he did. And so that night I took off. I didn't do any kind of work. I didn't do anything. And I just allowed myself to sit in the peace that I was feeling from my session. And I sat there and I watched both. They're a little bit long, each one, but well worth the watch. And I sat there peaceful. More peaceful than I had ever been with his music before. And because I associated Billy Joel also with my mom's pain, because that's what she would use when she was in a lot of pain to kind of regulate herself, like I said. And so listening to his music and watching these documentaries, as I was sitting there very peaceful, I had a new feeling pop in. And although I've forgiven my mom and I am not angry at her anymore for all of the things that have happened, I felt this other type of feeling. I've always loved my mom unconditionally, but this was a deeper version of that in understanding who she was as a human being. And understanding that the pain that she went through was, even though it was difficult for my brother and I, it was also, she was just doing the best she could. And I just felt this peace. And I'm really hoping that she felt it as well. Not knowing who it came from, but I'm hoping she felt it. And while I'm sitting there, I remember going, if I could ever speak to Billy Joel, if I could ever get anything from him in terms of like a signed autograph or something like that, I would definitely do it for my mom. I would send it to her and I would ask him to sign it to her name, Love Billy and Lizzie. And I would want her to know, and I would hope that she would know that I did that because I wanted her to have something that meant something to her in her life. And I go into, after thinking about all of this, I've also had some very big conversations with friends about Ozzy's passing. Oh, the one other thing that I want to say is that I think that this will come full circle for me in terms of Billy Joel, and the frequency of the music and everything like that will come full circle when I can see him again in concert, like the first time I saw him when I was little. So back to Ozzy. I had a conversation with a friend, and she is taking Ozzy's passing very hard because when somebody passes, yeah, we think about our own mortality. But when somebody who's so in the the eye of society and his huge influence passes, like a musician, people were really upset when Michael Jackson passed away. People were really upset when Prince and David Bowie passed away. And Ozzy, I knew when Ozzy passed, it was going to be this big thing. So I was talking to her, and she was telling me that it's bringing up a lot of things about her life and her childhood and all of these things. And there was something I told her, and I think that it will be best for me if I'm going to try to include the little snippet of the recording that I did to her, because I want you guys to hear it as well. But I will tell you kind of what I said. And it was because I had spoken to another friend who was reading the comments of a post regarding Ozzy and his passing, and everybody was sending love. And it was just, Ozzy, he might be gone. His physical body might not be here anymore, but he became the music. He became the frequency. And he just became more, because in our physical bodies, we're limited. But when we pass away, we become our beings of light, or whatever you want to call it. Our energy just can't be destroyed, so it just flows. It flows within the universe. It flows within everybody else. And so we're not ever fully gone. And she thought that that was a beautiful thing. And while I'm not going to leave that snippet here, I'm going to try to include it in another little recording, just in case it doesn't work. And that led me to thinking about how we don't always like the same type of music. We just don't. There's certain types, even though I love all kinds of music and all kinds of genres, there are certain types of music that I just can't listen to because it physically hurts to listen to it. Like it's like nails on a chalkboard for me. And so it's the same thing when it comes to people. Sometimes people are not going to resonate with us. Just like they don't resonate with a song that might be popular, or they might not resonate with a specific frequency of the type of music, and that's okay. And with everything that's been going on, um, regarding the last episode I did, it's making me really think about the frequencies that we have as human beings. We all have our own song that we play, and some people are going to like it, and some people are not. But that's not necessarily something to take personally. There are going to be some people who just don't like me as soon as I walk into the room. It's happened before, it will happen again, and that's okay. They just don't like my music. And I can't fault them for that. We will rub people the wrong way. And when we do, that's just our frequency rubbing up against theirs and them not understanding what we're saying. Same thing goes with communication. Some people just can't hear us. And sometimes, as hard as we try, it just, there's just no way for the frequencies to go together. Just like certain songs, you hear them and you're like, something feels kind of off. It's like that. And it's not our job to be understood by people. It is our job to sing our song and allow the people who are going to understand us, who are going to love us for who we are, who are going to love our music. It's our job to continue to sing our song so we can call those people in. And during our journey, there might be different types of music that we'll listen to. For example, a couple of years ago, I was heavy into Cali reggae. I still love it. I still love it so much. Yes, I love rock and I love all these other things, but I still love Cali reggae. I was just listening to it last night. I'm going to make a playlist for a friend because she's like, oh, I'm just now getting into it. And I was big on it for a couple of years. I went to go see Stick Figure and I saw Revolution and I saw Dirty Heads and like all of that. And I loved the vibe of going to these outdoor concerts and events where everybody was just together, coexisting. The vibe was just fantastic. I talked about the Ghost concert. The energy within that space, no phones, no nothing. Say what you want to about that policy, and I was weird about it at first, but I think that it made everything so much better. We were connected as human beings, not just listening to each other's songs, but listening and feeling the music that was actually in this space that was being created by all of us. And it was beautiful. And sometimes you'll want to listen to rock. Some days you'll want to listen to soft music. Some days you'll want to go back to the 90s or the 50s or even the 20s, or maybe you're going to want to listen to classical music. Your soul will tell you what it is that it's asking for. And sometimes you'll even get a song stuck in your head. And then when you go to play that song, you're like, oh, that actually has codes and keys for me. The lyrics hit. I have a friend of mine that I'll just send him a message sometimes and I'm like, okay, what do I listen to today? I trust him. He's never wrong. So, and sometimes when I'm around him, he'll be like, okay, I'm going to play this song. And for some reason, Vienna is sticking in my head by Billy Joel. He played that song for me. And while I wasn't familiar with that song, I might have heard it when I was little. It hits, and every single time I hear it, I think to slow down. It's like, Liz, you need to slow down. Things are going to happen in their own time. Things are going to happen when they're supposed to. Don't rush it. You can't be what you're supposed to be before your time. Period. And then he's sent me other things that I'm like, how did you know I needed to hear this today? He just has like a skill. He's a gift. I surround myself with people who speak the same language as my soul. We might speak it a little differently, but it's still music. And we can still appreciate each other's music. And even though we'll ebb and flow out of things, and we might listen to one genre a little bit more than another, it doesn't mean that those things, those loves for that music is gone. It just means that right now it's not your vibe. And I know this might seem like a little bit of a weird episode because I'm talking about human beings and then I'm talking about music, but we're all frequency, every single one of us. And what we listen to matters. Who we're around and who we surround ourselves with matters. And I thought that that was an important topic to discuss. I didn't know exactly how I was going to do it, but I did it. And here we have episode 34. It's the alchemical journey in the music of your soul and the music of other souls that are on your playlist, which is life. So I really hope that this makes sense. And one other thing that I wanted to discuss was how people feel like music. I don't know if anybody else out there has this kind of way of feeling, but certain people feel like certain genres or certain songs or types of music to me. And if you feel that, let me know. Let me know if that's something that you actually have too. I know there are people who actually hear music and translate it to color and art. I don't know if this is a thing. So let me know. Thank you for being here with me. You are not broken. Sing your song. Be who you are, because that's enough. And know you're capable of changing the song at any time if it doesn't feel right. You're not broken, and you're magical. Thank you for being here with me. I do not take you spending your time with me lightly. I know it is a precious resource, and we can't get that back. So thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. Go listen to your favorite music. Go listen to what your soul is singing, and find the others and allow them to find you. That you guys, your frequencies vibe together. Make that playlist and keep creating alchemy. All of this is inspired perpetual alchemy. Thank you for being here with me, and until next time, keep going, alchemists. So I am hoping that this will come through. This is the snippet that I'm going to attempt to play from my phone because I don't know exactly how to get it from Facebook to here. So the audio is going to be terrible. But I wanted to try to play this for you guys so that you could hear exactly what I told her because for some reason I feel called to share it. So here we go. So this leads me to a conversation I had with my friend. And energy cannot be destroyed. It is just transmuted and it just moves around. So he was reading the comments of something the day Ozzy passed away. And people were talking about how much they're going to miss him and stuff. And there was a comment that stood out to him. And it was pretty much Ozzy's not gone. He has just become the music. Which is true. None of us are ever truly gone. We just change frequency. and we change shape, form, and we just become what it is we naturally are, which is just light beings. Energy and physical form create a human. And Ozzy is now just that. He is the frequency. And now that he is the frequency and he is the music, he can move around and just be more, even more than he was in life. Because as human beings, we have limitations, but as energy, we do not. So I agree with you. He's showing everybody signs because his energy is everywhere. It's in all of us as we are flowing through him and whatever his energy is now. So it's a beautiful thing to think about how when we're gone, we're not actually gone.